Hey everyone, welcome to In Your Fields with the Young. We back. It's a beautiful Friday morning in South Africa, Johannesburg, Gauteng. We are here in Everton from our studios doing this live broadcast, and thank you so much for joining us. Please, would you do me a favor? Share this link and also press the subscribe button and follow the show because we have interesting subjects here. And none other than today we have a beautiful, great subject, and we're going to have an awesome time in studio. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you once more. And my co-host here, Mr. Jay Paris. Jay, what's up?
Yes, sir. Like you said, it's a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. Top of the morning to everybody. Good morning to the viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in and for joining us. We have, like the Young said, an incredible lineup. We're in for a top-notch show, and I can't wait to get into it.
Hey, man. We're talking sport. We're talking mostly football because we've got two gentlemen in the studio that's going to take us through that. And we're talking all about the importance of sport conditioning.
Yep.
So you can't just get out there and play, you know what I'm saying, Jay? Like myself and you do at times.
Exactly. And I'm at that age now. Unc, where it's like I have to warm up. I have to.
You feeling it?
I'm feeling it.
Feeling it. Okay, no, cool, man. Jay, we watched some football last night. I don't think you watched it.
I didn't catch the game, Unc. I just saw.
You just saw the result.
I saw it was 1-1.
So South Africa drew with who did we play? Ghana. We drew 1-1, and they're playing on Sunday against Sudan. We hope. We wish them all the best so that we can qualify for the African Cup of Nations, so that we can represent South Africa in Africa. Right, Jay?
How's the boys doing, though?
The boys are doing okay. We need a point on Sunday. We need a point, and we're playing away. So, guys, good luck to you, and we hope that you can achieve that feat for us. We have in the studio two great, handsome gentlemen over here. They're going to introduce themselves, but I just want to introduce their names to you this morning. We've got on my right-hand side, your left, is Mr. Durell Butler. He's our biokineticist, and he's going to talk all about what he does and so forth. And we want to welcome you. Welcome this morning, Durell. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Lester. Thanks for having me. I'm a biokineticist. I'm working at UJ Doornfontein campus. I specialize in sports rehab and rehab in general, and then also, like the title says, strength and conditioning of athletes.
Oh, beautiful, man. Beautiful. And then we have Mr. Angelo Doubel over here on my left, your right. He's a coach as well as a sports psychologist. So we are so thrilled and happy and honored to have the legendary Coach Mamas with us this morning.
Good morning.
Coach, how are you doing, man?
Right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Angelo Doubel from El Raro Park. I'm a sports psychologist consultant and a football coach by profession. And I'm just here to enjoy myself and add more value to the show.
Ah, beautiful, man. Beautiful. Jay, we're going to have an awesome time.
Definitely.
Jay, we're going into your segment because you said at this age.
Yes, at this age, like I mentioned, just getting on the pitch is you have to condition the body and get ready for it. But now we're going into the warm-up. Warm-up segment. And this segment, before we get the show started, we need to warm up, of course, right?
Cool. Yes.
You gotta warm up. So we need a warm-up, of course, or a stretch.
Jay, your eyes are following the biokineticist over here. Is he gonna do the warm up for us?
Yes, please. By all means, we'd appreciate it.
So we'll just do a light neck stretch, okay? So you wanna take your nose to your armpit, almost like you're smelling yourself.
Okay.
Okay, and then you grab the back of your head.
Okay.
And then this other arm try and reach down to the ground. You'll feel a nice stretch in your neck. But you wanna sit upright.
Okay.
And then you'll hold and count for 20 seconds.
Yo. Jay.
Okay. I'm sure most of us have tight necks after sleeping last night.
Yes, man.
And then you just go on the other side another 20 seconds.
Do the other side. Okay. Jay, I can actually feel something, you know that.
Facts.
Okay, and then you take your elbows.
Yeah.
You try and point them up to the ceiling. You'll feel a stretch in the lats there. And then same thing, you count.
Stretch in the what?
In the lats.
Where is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
The rhomboids.
In the gym they call them wings.
Wings. Okay.
Yeah, so
right.
that's just to fix up the posture since all of us were sitting like that. So
Yeah.
Okay, so that's some just fixing up. Jay, we need to do that before we
definitely.
get into the show, man. Because I can feel something working, Jay.
Because usually it's just the brrr and the voice warm up, but the body just is
the body,
vitally
man. The body
important.
needs the warm up. That's
Definitely.
interesting. So do you do? How long is a warm up? Depending which sport you do, or what would you say?
It shouldn't be too long, but it shouldn't be too short also.
And intensity wise,
It de-
I always wanted to know this. Do you first warm up and then stretch, or is it the same thing? Or
you make them part of one another. So
Okay.
there's different stretching. There's dynamic stretching and there's static stretching.
okay,
Dynamic stretching is literally part of the warm-up. Like when you're seeing those players, when they say close groin, open groin,
yes,
kick straight in front of you, those are dynamic stretches for hamstring and groin.
okay,
And then a warm-up, depending on if it's before the game or the player's just about to go on, you slowly get them into it. You want to get the heart rate up.
right,
So you want to get the heart rate up almost equal or just under the intensity of the game,
okay,
just to
Okay.
get the blood flowing. So it shouldn't be too long and it shouldn't be too short. So I'd say about 5 to 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes. Okay, 5 to 10
And the
minutes.
warm-ups are the same in any sport, eh?
Nah, in most of them it's the same. Like if it's before a game, you're gonna do maybe a 10-minute warm-up, dynamic stretching. Players are gonna pass the ball around, do some movements and shoot and all those type of stuff. But those are stuff players do on their own.
Okay,
But warm-ups and stretches, usually the conditioning coach or the bio does those.
okay, okay, beautiful. No, that's interesting, man. So we're gonna kick off, Jay. That was our warm up.
That was the
I
warm-up.
hope you feel stretched.
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you, man. So we're gonna go over to Coach Angelo Doubel.
Yeah.
I just want an introduction to who is Coach Angelo, who is Coach Mamas, who is he, and where did he do his training? Just a quick synopsis of who this great man is with us here this morning.
Yeah, I've been coaching for 17 years now in
Wow.
football. I did my studies at UJ, a sports psychology degree, and I did my SAFA level 1 and introductory coaching course. And I've produced a lot of players over the years for Bafana and for professional clubs. And I really enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Wow.
And my most important vision that I have is to inculcate sport and education into our school system, which is lacking currently in El Dorado Park.
That's a fact.
And we need to increase and upgrade our facilities. It's been there for 50 years. It's the same. We need to upgrade it. And my organization is called El Dorado Park Sports Development Institute. We are trying to address these issues in the community. And I hope that the community will support us in this endeavor so we can produce more professional athletes for the future coming out of El Dorado Park. That's the main goal.
Wow. So there's a existing institution in that community of El Dorado Park in
Yeah.
South Africa.
Yeah, in El Dorado, we started this program 3 years ago. We're working in the primary schools, try to establish a foundation phase first,
Okay.
because we need to have a foundation phase and then move over to the high school. So it's just this COVID pandemic has hampered our progress. So we
Yeah.
just have to see it how it goes.
Okay, that's beautiful. So, Coach, where did the love for this all start?
I've been playing football since the age of
So you
5.
were a football player,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's my dream. This is the only thing I know. It's football. From the age of 5, playing up to 27. When I got injured, I met a biokineticist called Wayne Adonis. He's the one that encouraged me to go and study. And from there, my focus changed from football to coaching. And
Okay.
that's why I'm doing what I love.
So what injury did you get?
Groin injury.
A groin injury.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move over to because we're gonna have some practical sessions here, Jay.
Okay.
That's what we want to speak about, practical stuff, right?
Okay.
So
Nah,
that people out there.
I'm actually glad that you got a groin injury because that's like something I've been like suffering with as well. So
Okay, you're
this
struggling
is the
with.
perfect platform.
Yeah. So what we want to do on the show, we want to give you as much information as possible, but real life issues, and that's what we're all about, practical stuff, so that you can go home and apply. If you would like to do that. So I'm coming over to Durell. Durell, the coach got a groin injury. How do you get groin injuries?
Groin injuries come from sometimes athletes are deconditioned, or sometimes it's just overuse. Like when we speak about injuries in biokinetics, you get contact and non-contact injuries.
Right.
Then you get traumatic and chronic injuries.
Okay.
So contact injuries are when people tackling you. Those are the big injuries, fractures, ACL tears, those type of stuff.
Right.
And then muscular non-contact injuries are your hamstring tears, your groin tears, your quadricep tears. So that can sometimes happen from poor warm-up.
Okay.
It can be general weakness in that muscle. It can be tightness in the muscle, like poor flexibility. That's where your dynamic stretching comes in.
Okay.
And then another reason why you can have a continuous groin injury, if something is traumatic and you don't do rehab for it, a traumatic injury can become a chronic injury.
Wow.
So some athletes leave their sport early because they have a chronic injury because they never listened when their physio or their biokineticist said, you need to listen, don't play for 4 weeks.
Sure.
So yeah,
Rest
groin
perfect.
injuries are common. I think
I think I was out for 8 months with a groin injury. It was
Wow.
8 months.
Wow. So do you think what Durell is saying here? Do you think it became chronic?
No, I think, like you said, we don't follow the instructions of the physio. I think I
Okay.
did that. I wanted to get back quickly to the game and injure it again. That's why I had a prolonged, in my injury.
So a groin injury. How do you strengthen that muscle? How do you strengthen that muscle,
Okay.
Durell?
I'm actually gonna do my master's soon, so
Right.
it's actually based on preventing hamstring and groin injuries.
So okay, before you get there, you'll remember that at the
Yeah.
back. You'll answer that, right?
Yeah.
First, tell me, what have you studied and what are you doing at the present moment, so that
Okay.
people have an insight as to who we're speaking to.
Okay, so I finished my sports psychology degree in 2016, also at UJ, and then I did the honors in biokinetics, also at UJ, which I enjoyed.
Where are you from?
From Rivoli.
So you from Rivoli,
Yeah.
Rivoli, Johannesburg,
Yeah,
South
I'm
Africa,
from
next
Rivoli,
to
Johannesburg.
next to Nasrec, next to FNB Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had my honors in biokinetics. I'm working now, qualified since 2018. So I want to do a master's in sports science.
Okay.
On surveillance basically just means monitoring injuries. So
Okay.
I want to monitor hamstring and groin injuries amongst like 4 Gauteng clubs.
Okay.
And then based on the data I get there, in my PhD, I do an intervention to decrease, let's say, the amount of hamstring and groin injuries each
Wow.
club had. So yeah.
Wow.
And what stirred up the passion for you? Do you also play sport?
I played, I think the last time I played like 11 aside was 2016. So in 2012 I was 19, I tore my ACL complete there. And then I thought, hey, I want to study to be a doctor, but then because I asked my surgeon what it's like being a doctor, I said no. It's not for me.
Okay. So you rather opted for the biokinetics.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm in the healthcare system plus
Still, yeah.
sport. So
Yes.
I'm doing 2 things I love at the same time.
Oh, beautiful, man. Beautiful. So, I was asking you, how do you strengthen that muscle?
So one of the exercises that would be included in my master's or my PhD study is, it's called a Copenhagen exercise.
Okay.
So it's like a side plank. There's progressions and there's regressions of it. So if it's for someone that's not injured, it would be easy to do the proper one. So
Okay.
you put your foot, let's say it's on a chair, or your top foot. So you're in a side plank position. You put in
Yes.
your foot on the top there,
Yeah.
and then you're lifting yourself up. And at the same time, the bottom leg, you also, in our language, we call it adduction. So adduction is towards the body, abduction is out.
Out,
Like for
okay.
the shoulders, this would be abduction, this
Okay.
would be ad. And then you just lift yourself up and down for like 12 reps. But then because we believe exercise is medicine, when we talk about reps and sets, we speak about dosage.
Okay.
Because I can't underload you and I can't overload you.
Okay.
And if I do overload you, we do it progressively because we
Okay.
call it progressive overload.
All right.
So injuries also come from doing too much too quickly
Sure.
and doing too little.
So now, coach,
Yeah.
what hearing, it all sounds fantastic and so forth.
Yeah.
Here's Durell, he's in a structure in
Yeah.
terms of UJ structure,
Yeah.
right? You in the community,
Yeah.
working in a community, we don't have those facilities that they have at UJ.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that type of how can I say, expertise to get it through to boys at grassroots level?
Yeah, you see, the problem is in our community, we need to educate the community, or the coaches for that matter, about
Right.
the physical conditioning of athletes and the psychological side of athletes, because coaches tend to only focus on the technical side and the tactical side.
Okay.
So we need to have workshops where we can invite Durell to come and
Yeah.
educate the coaches, especially,
Right.
because this is the type of things they need as coaches, so they can add value to their training.
Yeah.
You see, so that is important, that we need people like him to come and lecture the community coaches
Okay.
about conditioning, about injuries, prevention, and all these things.
So
Yeah.
that's a good suggestion. Durell, is there something like, say you studying, because you studied, right? So there's guys studying in your field. Is there something like they can do an internship and go into the community for their practicals, and then give without charging the community? Is there something like that can happen?
I think sometime last year or the year before, we done something like that with coaches only,
Okay.
to teach coaches about baseline, about injuries, how to, like if someone just got hurt now, the rest, ice, compress, elevation.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
The rice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The importance of warm up, the
Yeah.
importance of rest, the importance of being rehydrated and all those type of stuff.
Mhm.
So we did do it for free through Gauteng Sport, and it is something that can be done. But in terms if players were injured and stuff, UJ actually charges quite cheap for students. So it's like 60 Rand for an assessment and 40 Rand per session, whereas private practice, it's about 600 Rand an assessment and 450 a session.
Are you serious, Durell?
So UJ does also look to try and help communities that can't afford going to a private practice.
So what's the criteria? What's the criteria?
If
Do
you're a
you just
student-
come, or if you're a student?
If you're a student, yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. And if
Okay.
you're a pensioner, obviously it's also 60-40. If you're a working person, it's like 160 for your assessment and then 60 Rand assessment.
So you
afterwards.
just walk into UJ,
Or you call the number.
or
yeah.
you call the number, and then
Make
you make an appointment.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Me too. I didn't know that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So in the community, we need to get that out there. You know what I'm saying, Jay?
Yeah.
That these things are available. It's just we don't know about it.
Exactly. And you say for a normal person, it's
160 for the assessment and then 60 Rand for follow-ups.
Wow, guys, I
Yeah.
really didn't know
I
that.
didn't know
That's valuable information right there. Valuable
Yeah, thanks,
information.
Durell, thanks.
Okay, we're gonna come back to this. We first just going to get into our segment, Jay. Your
Yep.
favorite segment.
So the next segment is draw to score, and here we have teams. So I'm gonna be with Durell, and the Unc is gonna be with Coach Angelo.
Yes.
Draw to score. So now there's a board here with a piece of paper on where I have to, first and foremost, in this box, there's cards
Right.
with a word on it.
Right.
I have to draw that word on Durell's back.
Okay.
And Durell, of course, has to draw it, interpret what I'm drawing onto.
Does he draw onto the board,
onto
or
the-
does he draw onto the paper?
onto the board, eh?
Onto the paper.
Okay,
Yeah.
onto the paper. And yeah, the best team wins, of course.
Yeah, the best team win. Yes. Okay, let's go. Are you gonna start first, Jay?
What do you suggest?
Yeah, we can go.
Okay, let's go for it. I like the confidence, bro.
Okay, so now who's drawing?
Who's gonna
Draw on the back?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay,
I'll draw on your back.
okay, you go for it.
Okay. Let's see. So Durell, you must take a
Yeah, you gotta take a.
and don't show Jay.
I give him one number.
Yeah,
Yeah, you must.
here you go.
I really hope you get this one.
You're already starting off on a.
Right.
Ready.
Are we timing?
Okay, well, just
No timing.
Oh, there's no timing.
Yeah.
Okay, you just go.
Easy with it, broski. Easy.
Coach, you
Whoa,
must
whoa, whoa, whoa,
slow.
whoa, whoa,
You must go
whoa,
slow.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Sure.
Whoa, I
Master, sure.
can't feel anything, bro. I think go from the top, broski.
Can you feel it now?
Yo.
I'm pressing very hard.
Jay is massaging you even, my bro. You feel nothing.
Yo.
Jay, you thick skin, bro.
Preach. I don't feel anything, bro. Legit. I do not. I'm gonna have to guess this one.
Yes, come, right. Jay, draw, bro.
Pressing really hard.
Jay, draw.
God. In the next 2 months. Nah, I didn't.
I'm pressing very hard, I promise.
That's
Do it over with your finger. So
Yeah, I
overline it
can't
with your finger.
Okay.
Or close the lid and try to like just
Yeah, just hold on,
the
Go
outline.
from the top, bro. 3, 2, 1, now.
You feel that?
It's my guess.
Okay,
I don't know.
both of you show the
yes. No, Jay. Jay, you way off, bro.
so it was a flower.
A
Yeah.
flower.
You way off.
It's an ugly flower, but I tried.
Yo.
Okay, let's go, coach. Let's
So
go,
who's
coach.
going first? Are you going first, Pastor?
You interpret.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw on your back, and you draw on the paper. Yes.
Oh, just watch out.
What? You didn't see?
Okay.
Just follow my every move, coach. Coach, I hope you're a bit sensitive that you can feel what I'm doing. Okay.
I was really pressing hard.
Must press,
Okay.
Pastor.
Do you feel it?
Ah.
Aye, man.
I think it's easier done.
That's
it.
Can you feel?
Press harder.
Nee, man. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Everyone starts with a line.
There where you stopped.
Press harder, Pastor.
Nice.
Sure. Come on now.
There where you stopped.
Harder, Pastor.
Yeah.
Huh? Harder. Just do the outlines.
This.
I had to do that also.
Again?
Yes.
Was that the chair?
It's a chair.
Oh man, so close.
But it
So
was
close.
So close.
You didn't draw the arm.
Well done, Pastor.
Okay, we've got one more round. So you're gonna
okay.
draw. Jay, you're gonna draw now.
Let's hope my back is sensitive. That is chairs, I like.
Let's go. Let's go.
Sure. I don't even know how to draw this.
The last time Jay was bragging that he was an artist.
Yeah. Let's hear. Let's see. Let's see. Jay.
Now let's do this.
Come on, Jay.
Do you even know how to draw that thing?
Wait.
Okay,
I'm really feeling it. I'm being serious. Do like Pastor done with his finger on the back.
Yeah.
Let me do it again.
Do it.
And you're supposed to know this because when you're assessing injuries,
Now you confused him.
Close that.
Plus, now you confused him, Jay.
Close that.
You must feel the muscle fibers, huh, Durell?
Okay.
Throw like me the outline also.
So the uncle was saying at that point, start again.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's cool,
I'm
Jay.
gonna just say this. Below that, another one. Hey, you know, yo.
I'm telling you,
Now we just work with the bottom one.
you don't know how to
I
how
don't
to
know
do
how
it
to draw
yourself.
this thing. Hey, you're ready. You're ready.
Okay, let's see.
I promise you I can't.
Hey,
But I was close.
snowman.
To the camera.
It's close.
A snowman. It's supposed to be a snowman. That was close.
You was close though.
Yeah, but no, what snowman is that, my
Was
bro?
close.
That look like I don't know what it look. SpongeBob.
Put the stuff together.
Actually,
Close.
Name it.
Pastor.
okay, someone must get a point here, guys. Come on. We on 0-0 here.
The one closest must get the point.
Coach, you here behind me.
I must watch closely. It's on the cheek.
Let the viewers say who they think is closest.
You clever Huh?
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready now.
Yes. Again. Yes.
I know what.
Yes,
that is.
Pastor.
Yeah, man. You can finish that off.
Yes, Pastor. Well done.
You can finish it
Well
off,
done,
Pastor. You can
Pastor.
see that.
You know what it is, huh?
And that's
Well done,
one.
Pastor.
That's one for Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor.
That's,
I wanna see
The
what's on
winners
that
is here.
paper.
that's one for.
Thank you.
Hey, man! Hey, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
man. Yes.
Oh, let's see. Let's see.
That's a medic cross.
yeah. Medic cross.
A cross, original.
Medic cross. I will slap
You
you.
have to give it to
But
the
it's-
Thank you, coach.
Team L, baby.
Hey!
Yes.
Come on now.
That's so easy.
Champions of Europe.
Champions of Europe.
Well done.
Jay, we won that one. Draw to score.
Draw to score. This was the first win in about
No, Jay.
3 or 4 weeks.
Jay, we'll check.
So I give it to you, Unc. Well up. Well
Thank you,
up.
thank you. Give
Yeah.
it up, give it up.
Thank you, coach. Beautiful. Okay, so we back on our subject. Durell, if there's someone out there that wants to study in the same field, where do they start? What do they do in terms of their subjects at school and so forth? How do they go about it?
Subjects that do help if you're doing biokinetics is biology.
Speaking the mic for us. Yeah.
Yeah, biology and then physical science, but not necessarily. But as long
Okay.
as you have biology, you'll have an understanding of the basics of anatomy.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then maybe pure maths.
Pure maths.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can apply at UJ, at FITS, at TUX. But I enjoy UJ.
Yeah,
Go
you at
UJ.
UJ. You
Yeah.
at UJ. So and what does it entail? How many years do you study? What do you start with, and so forth?
So UJ now has, when I was still studying, there was an honors degree. So you'll do 3 years of sports psychology or sports communications, and then you do an honors year of biokinetics or sports science.
Okay.
But now UJ has a honors degree in biokinetics only. So from first year to fourth year, you're doing biokinetics.
Wow.
Where the first 2 years you're doing anatomy and physiology, and you're seeing cadavers.
Yeah.
So that's fun. So you're actually looking at the actual body of,
Okay.
of a cadaver. So you're
You-
seeing what it actually looks like.
In fact, this morning I heard they've got a shortage on that. So they asked, will people donate? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've got a shortage on cadavers at the moment, right through the country, in fact. So that's another thing to look at. Would you donate your organs?
I would donate
Yeah.
my
Me-
organs, yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay. So you work on that, and then how many years? 4-year
4
program.
years, yeah.
Okay, 4-year program. That's to get your
Biokinetics degree.
biokinetics degree. Then you go for honors.
Now that's if you're doing it the way I did it.
Okay.
Which UJ doesn't have anymore. They just have the 4-year biokinetics degree. So 2
Okay.
years anatomy and physiology. In the third year, you learn about the special tests that we do to check injuries. You learn about the different types of injuries and how to treat them.
Okay.
And in your fourth year, you get to see actual patients and apply what you've learned over the 3 years.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Coach, with your experience and all the time that you've been coming along, you work mostly in the community. You did say you got your degree for sports psychology at
UJ.
at UJ.
Yeah.
How important is sports psychology? What do you deal with in sports psychology?
Yeah, what we do is sports psychology is a scientific study of human cognition, which is thinking,
Yeah.
emotions, which is feelings,
Right.
and behavior, which is actions in sports. So as sports psychologists, you look at, we ask ethical questions
Okay.
like how does anxiety affect basketball's free throw accuracy in free throw shooting?
Okay.
How does a lack of self-confidence, does it affect a child from learning how to swim? Or does reinforcement and punishment from a coach affect team cohesion? You see, this is the type of questions we are asking.
Mm.
And we try to address these things. And the most basic function of a sports psychologist or consultant or counselor, whoever, he has to assess the athlete and help him with the mental skills training program and facilitate psychological consultation with the athlete to enhance his performance or her performance through the mental skills training. So
Okay.
the mental skills training is actually an important part of psychological factors that we need to address that athletes suffer from. Because most of the athletes don't know what they're experiencing, emotions like anxiety, state anxiety, cognitive anxiety, trend anxiety, where you feel like a situation is threatening and it's not threatening to you.
Okay.
So it affects your body, your heart rate increases, your palms get wet, your mouth get dry. So it affects your range of motion or your movement within the sport. So it's important for us to address these issues, and athletes need to understand the emotional side, what they're experiencing during competition. Stress also plays a very important role in sport because the demand and environment puts a demand on athletes. Like if you
Right.
play in a World Cup final, what demands are there?
Yes.
Everyone expects you
Yes.
to win.
Yes.
And athletes perceive these demands differently. Some will say, I enjoy playing at a World Cup final. Others will be nervous,
Yes.
suffer from anxiety.
Others strive again on the gallery.
Yeah. So they need to know what they are experiencing. So as a sports psychologist, you need to assist the athlete in this mental skills training program, which will help them can cope with the stress of the environment.
So how do you train them? Is it a sit-in class atmosphere,
Yeah, it's
or is it a practical thing that you do with them?
It's like a consultation where you in a room or whatever. You teach him this, like for instance, one of the skills is arousal regulation, which, like I said, it's about state anxiety. So you teach him breathing exercises to control his breathing,
Okay.
so he can calm himself down when he's faced with anxiety. You see, so Now it takes time. People think sports psychology is like a quick fix.
Yeah.
2-3 sessions and
Yes.
you are ready to go.
Yes.
No, it's a lifetime.
Wow.
Thing that you have to imply in your daily life. Outside sport, you have to do it. To practice this relaxation techniques that we teach you to calm yourself down.
So is it important for coaches to have the skill, or would you rather prefer it coming from a professional?
No, I think it's important for coaches to know these things because you are working with different personalities also. Personality plays a big role in sports because
Right.
there's players that they have high achievement ambitions and you find others have low achievement ambitions.
Yes.
So as a coach, you need to know your personalities of your team because then you can balance your goal setting because goal setting is also a skill that sports psychologists teach you.
Yeah.
To do with your team. So you must have a balance of your team. You must know your team. You must know every personality within your team.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of a scenario like if you have someone, a player, that the coach always tells him, but you're doing this wrong. You're never gonna get better at this, and he keeps on putting negative things out there. But the player thrives on that because he wants to show the coach, I'm going to show you what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then there's others again. It works differently. You have to affirm them for them to perform.
Yes.
So how do you assess that? How do you assess
Through
those?
a personality questionnaire that information that we give the athletes and gain information through questionnaires
Yes.
to understand what type of personality you are or what criteria we can use to treat you. But coaches, for me, they don't understand the importance of sports psychology in our sport. They need to be educated first.
Okay.
Before just this basic course, you don't have to go
Yes,
3 years.
yes, I
Just
hear
a
you.
basic course to teach
Like a
them.
personality test type of a thing. Yes.
Yes, to teach them what the importance of sports psychology. Because coaches think it's like a quick fix to their problems. It's like there's no time to do it, and you can do it before training, in practice, during practice,
Yeah.
But our coaches in South Africa, they're neglecting this field, the psychological aspect. But if you ask a coach about what's the importance of a psychological thing in sport, he'll tell you 80%. But if you go see their training, there's
nothing.
So
it makes sense.
we are in a
do
conundrum
you really
here.
want to come in there?
Yeah, when it comes to the psychological part, it has a lot to do with the player's performance as well.
Yes.
Like some players come back from a serious injury and can't perform as well as they did before the injury.
It happens a lot,
Because
Durell.
it's psychological. Like one of the stuff, because I like to read research. So there's a thing called ACL RSI. RSI just stands for Return to Sport Injury Questionnaire.
Right.
So yes, I prepare you for your sport. I do my exercise programs with you. I strengthen your legs. I strengthen your glutes. All these things. And you meet all the baseline. You pass your hop test. You pass your Cybex test. A Cybex is just a machine that tests you against you.
Yeah.
You pass all these things and then you're still scared to play your sport. That's where the psychological part comes in.
Yeah,
so
of
the
course.
psychological part is very important. So the ACL RSI test, I used it on one of my athletes. She plays for JVW.
Okay.
So you have to score more than 76 to pass that test. So it will ask you questions like, do you have anxiety about your knee getting hurt when you go back to play again?
Yeah.
Is it a concern for you that you always have to consider your knee when you're playing sport? Like those type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then based on the score the player gets, if they get more than 76, I'll sign them off to go and play. If they get less than 76, I won't let them play because psychologically they're not ready. And usually in my sessions, I always motivate players. I try to do certain movements that mimic your sport. So like soccer players, I'll take one of those Pilates balls, then ask them to jump up, and then while in the air, I push them. So it's almost like when you're going for a header and there's an opponent.
Yes.
So now when you get confidence in landing and being able to resist an opponent or ball pushing you while going for a header, chances are when you go to training again, you won't be scared. So there is a psychological.
Yeah, and imagery
sure.
also plays a role in that. Imagery, it's like visualization. Like exactly what he's saying now. It's like if you hurt your shoulder, so now you can visualize or create an experience in your mind that I can lift my shoulder up. You see?
Right.
So imagery is also a mental skill that needs to be trained. And coaches use it also to introduce tactical plays. You know, strategies, so players can visualize it and then execute it like in a match.
Wow. So what is the most common injuries that you feel when people go back? They scared that this is gonna happen again.
It's usually the traumatic injuries.
Yeah.
Like your
ACL,
ACLs,
yeah.
your ankles.
ACL is
shoulders.
your knee.
Yeah, it's
Right.
called the anterior cruciate
Cruciate
ligament.
ligament.
Yeah. Okay.
So those, and then hamstring. Some people, like there's different type of hamstring tears.
Yeah.
There's one when you're sprinting and your hamstring tears, and you'll see
Yeah.
a player grabbing. That tears the muscle. It's called the biceps femoris. And then there's one when you're trying to kick a ball or going in for a slide tackle, then you overstretch the muscle. That
Okay.
one usually involves. It's called semitendinosus.
Tendinosus.
It's one of the hamstrings, and
We
then
have 3
some
hamstring
people-
muscles. Yeah.
the quadricep, and one of the most common quadricep muscles torn is rectus femoris from taking a shot. Let's say.
Okay.
I had an athlete that plays for Pele that actually tore his rectus femoris for a second time. And then within 6 weeks, I got him back on the pitch. He played his second 90 minutes on Tuesday.
Wow.
Well done. Durell,
Wow. Well done, Durell. Well done.
So I'm proud of that work. He looks like he has never injured.
Sure.
But yeah, that's where sports conditioning comes into play. You have to prepare an athlete for the demands of his sport, even
yeah.
for the demands of what the coaching style is. Like Marcelo Bielsa,
Yeah.
he expects his players to be running all the time, attack, defend.
Yeah.
If your players aren't prepared for that type of playing, most of the time they're gonna have your muscular injuries, your hamstring, your groin, your quad, your calf. So I was watching one of its games, and I seen 2 players come off with groin injuries and one with a hamstring, which I won't say sometimes, which most of the time can be prevented based on periodization,
Yeah,
based
sure.
on strength and
Loading.
conditioning.
Yeah.
So our aim as sports scientists, biokineticists, and strength and conditioning coaches, the more equipment I can keep on the field, the more successful the coach can be.
Wow.
Sure.
Liverpool, when they won the league, I don't like Liverpool, by the way.
Nee, man, Durell, you can't say so, man.
I'm a Man United fan.
Hey, you see
Durell.
now.
Yes,
Shame.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
no, hey, this is bad, eh?
Liverpool in
At
that
the wrong place.
Guys, I wouldn't have invited these guys on the set.
3v1.
If I knew.
3v1.
So the
It's
title winning
too-
team last season
Yes.
had the least injuries. The only injury I remember was Firmino when he twisted his ankle,
Right.
which is something you can't always
That's contact.
prevent.
Yeah.
But you can reduce the risk of, that's the correct word, of hamstring and groin injuries. And the more I reduce that risk in your athletes, the more they're able to play matches for you, the more you're able to rotate the squad. Now Klopp is struggling because...
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now,
majority of the
why are they
players-
getting injured now?
You know why they're getting injured? They're overplaying their players.
Yeah.
A professional player is supposed to play 30 games a season.
That's
prolong
where
his career.
periodization comes in.
He's playing the same players
Yeah.
for 70 games.
So rest is important. There's 4 R's. It's rest, refuel, rehydrate, and recover. Sometimes it's good to play your important players, yes. But if he played 90 minutes, next game, play him 70 minutes and take him off, let him rest for 20 minutes. If you're
Right.
playing on Tuesday, there's no reason for you to be training the athlete hard on Monday. Rather do
Yeah.
tactical play or patterns of play instead of making them run on the pitch there.
You know what, Coach? I must
you-
get
if
this
you-
out.
yeah, if
Coach,
you-
I must
yeah,
get this out.
yeah.
When I go into the community, most of the time, when I see guys, even some professional teams as well,
Yeah.
the first thing they do at training when they come, they run. I don't know how many times around the grounds. I mean, is that must it be like that, or
Can I answer
they,
that one?
answer that one,
answer
because they
that.
run a lot, man.
No, the body is able to adapt. Now, for me, when you're telling a player to run, depending on how fast or how slow they're running, it doesn't work because football is a high intensity interval sport.
Yes.
It's high intense, but it's played in intervals.
Intervals.
Even I said to some of the players, it doesn't make sense to me if your coach is training you with the ball at your feet all the time. Because in a 90-minute game, I promise you only touch that ball for 1 minute.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you receive that ball, you trap it, you pass, you move into space.
Yes.
So you're doing more running than you are doing running with the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So you have to train your athletes in the way they're going to play.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
their body adapts. Because they call it in sports science specific adaptations to impose demands.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's called the SAID principle. So if I can cause an athlete's body to adapt to the demands placed on it for his sport specifically, I can cause him to become a better player and reduce the risk of him becoming injured.
Yeah, because
Sure.
it comes down to the style of play of the coach. So if you play high intensity game like Liverpool also plays, so you have to design a program. Your drills have to be short and intense to get that style of play across to the players. So what happens like I said, in our community is a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And the coaches, they need to be educated about the style of play, about the intensity of
So
play.
you actually talking about the philosophy here.
Of course.
Is that like if you have Barcelona, there's a philosophy,
Yeah.
and everything falls within that philosophy.
yes.
Your training is gonna be in that philosophy.
course.
Your conditioning and all that is gonna be within the frames of that philosophy.
Yeah.
So you must establish as a team a philosophy, and then I work accordingly. Doesn't matter what philosophy, what principles.
Yeah.
So that's where the conditioning coach comes in to complement the coach. That's what
Yes.
coaches don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you. That's what I liked about working with Xavi,
Okay.
the coach at Wits.
Obviously.
Yes.
He'll tell me, you have 35 minutes. Sometime I'll negotiate 45.
Right.
But he'll tell me this is the time you have, which sometimes 45 minutes is perfect enough because you're doing your 10-minute warm-up, which includes your stretches, which includes your agility and all those type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you train them, and then the coach does his, let's say, tactical play or
Yes.
small-sided games. But even then, you have to speak to the coach. What are you doing today? Small-sided games. That means my high intensity session shouldn't be too long because small-sided games already
It's already
are intense.
yes.
Yeah, it's already
Yes.
So now you coming from my running here to go and run more the ball there, and then you're playing in a day's time. I'm asking you to get a hamstring injury.
True.
That's why
lactic acid build up also.
So you have
play a
to
role.
communicate with your coaches.
So we've been talking a lot about the team dynamics and how do you improve that and how do you complement that. I want to come to the individual, Durell, whereby you have here a boy who wants to be a professional football player, rugby player, cricket player, whatever, right? We're dealing with football mostly. So here's this boy. You want to condition that boy accordingly. Let's say soccer player, because it's different conditioning for different sports.
Okay.
So let's say for football, you need speed, you need strength in the core and that type of thing. What advice do you give to such person?
People, I don't know, it's only in South Africa where people think if you do strength training, you become slow.
Explain to me that, yes.
There's no science in when you're doing strength training, you become slow. I don't know where they heard that. A lot of coaches believe
So that's a myth.
So they try and keep players out of the gym. So I always tell players, last season Bayern won Champions League. They hit everyone proper. So I said Coutinho was on loan, nah?
Yes.
From Barcelona, he was skinny.
Yes.
Bayern, when he left Bayern, he even sent a tweet, thank you for making me the machine I am today. When he left Bayern, he was bigger and stronger than he was before. Leon Goretzka, the same thing, came from Schalke, skinny. I've never seen him slow. Adama Traore, he's not slow, but he's muscular. Sometimes, obviously, some people, it's genetics. You can train how hard, but it will take longer for your muscle to get bigger.
Yeah,
but it doesn't
man. This guy's throwing. He's throwing some shade here, bro.
Yeah.
This guy's throwing some shade here. Okay, but it's cool. It's cool.
It doesn't mean you're not strong.
Right.
Strength training comes into play. You need strength as a defender to hold a striker off. You need strength as a striker to hold a defender off. Same thing for the midfield. You need strength in your hamstrings to carry you through 90 minutes. and you need hamstring endurance to carry you through the 90 minutes. So based on that, I always tell players, if you're lazy, don't work with me.
Okay.
Because every time you're done with me, I promise you, when you get home, you're gonna sleep.
And you know what I picked up in a professional setting of football is that coaches only spend time on strength during preseason. When preseason is done,
then it's done.
it's just tactics and technical work.
They worried about the 3 points now.
Yeah.
They want to win.
Just in preseason, where they focus on strength training and all those physical aspects that we are talking about.
So the individual, you saying, is there a program that they can follow?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you do that?
You can. There's myself at UJ. There's Kaylee. Both of us are good with drawing up programs. We understand programs are individualized. It's like medicine.
Okay. Yes.
Your exercise might be similar to his, but your program won't always be the same. Your resistance won't be the same because he might be stronger than you, or your muscles might adapt quicker than his.
I hear you.
So also I take into consideration your position in
Where you
football,
play.
or
Yes.
I take in consideration your goals as well. So if it's in season, I usually tell the athletes, I ask them, when do you play? Okay, you play Tuesday and Saturday. So it's already in season. You done strength and condition throughout pre-season. So let's do maintenance sessions. Let's do once a week, because you can maintain strength and muscle by training once a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also by doing it once a week, I'm not overloading the muscle also. So if you play Tuesday, I prefer seeing you Wednesday or Thursday, because your next game is only on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we can maintain, even Man United, all these big teams, they have probably once or twice a week maintenance sessions in the gym. So it's in the gym, maybe in the morning, and in the afternoon on the pitch. Or sometimes it's just gym and then you rest
Okay.
the whole day. So I can help, or myself and Kaylee can help.
So what you can do is you give a program to someone and say, is this feasible? Go join a gym, because obviously you if you don't have something at home, to give, so join a gym. But that's what I'm getting. I'm saying that's why I'm speaking about the individual. You get a guy going to the gym, but he doesn't know what to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's just pumping there and doing his own thing and taking this stuff that is supplements
No,
and
supplements are supplements. People must understand supplements.
Right.
If you having,
talk about that.
If you having not enough protein in your diet, supplement is exactly what it is. It's a substitute
For that.
Yeah.
You never
Okay.
had enough protein for breakfast, so now you're taking a protein supplement. The way some, especially the colored people, think
facts.
having protein shake is like it makes
Stronger.
you big. No,
Stronger.
You can get muscles by just having a high protein diet.
Right.
So even when you're taking creatine supplement,
Yeah.
creatine is natural in the body. It's even in biltong.
Exactly.
So all you're doing is adding extra
Yeah.
for your goal that you want.
Okay.
So I'll always ask athletes, have a steli stumpy and mix it with your whey protein after training,
Okay.
just to get the muscles to recover. Have a sachet of rehydrate during, let's say if it's a hot day and you're playing on a hot day.
To maintain
When it's your
your
water
fluid,
break,
yeah.
have your rehydrate, have rehydrate half time, and then in between second half. Just to keep the muscles from cramping, because rehydrate has like
Retains the water in your body.
it has your what you call this thing, the specific nutrients you need for your muscles not to
Sodium
cramp.
and potassium.
What are some of the supplements other than the USNs and so forth on that you can?
No, I go a cheaper route. Sometimes I'm not a big fan of Herbalife. I'm sorry. Not because I have anything against Herbalife or the distributors or whatever, but there's
Why
no.
do they sell you dreams?
Even the Bible,
he's tell you dreams.
you drink your way to weight loss.
Yes.
So most of the shakes are low in calories. So obviously because the calories are low, you're gonna lose weight, but you're gonna be hungry all the time.
Okay.
So it's not Herbalife, it's just the distributors that irritate me, because they sell Herbalife, they think they can give dietitian advice.
Okay.
I can't even give dietitian advice. I can give you advice, but I can't prescribe a diet.
A diet,
But
yeah.
that's what they do. So
Okay.
I don't have a problem with Herbalife. You can have your protein shake with them if it works for you. But I use Clicks, I use Nutritech, USN is good. anything that you can buy it clicks or this game. If it's not that clicks on this game, chances are there's illegal substances.
Facts.
So Durell, you say it's important. How important is the diet? So you must see a dietitian for that.
Yeah, you can, but if you have as an athlete, even as a normal person, because the older you get, the more muscle mass you lose.
Okay.
So try and keep the protein intake high. And this thing that fitness trainers say, cut carbs, that's nonsense.
Facts.
Because
Right.
how can you go throughout the day without carbs? Carbs is your energy source. That's like saying,
Facts.
don't put petrol, drive with car oil.
Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to have your carbs. It's what keeps you
And
out throughout
fats
the day.
also.
Even athletes, fats transport the hormones.
Right.
Athletes need carbs because the first energy system for sprinting is strictly sugars.
Yes.
So if you're not
Yes.
having carbs, then that's why you're tired at work, because the fitness trainer said cut carbs.
I hear you.
Even like us that train for marathon, you need some fat, high fat intake, because your body burns fat as fuel, not carbohydrates, because we're running at a lower heart rate to burn more fat. Now you find in marathon runners, they run fast, they burn more sugar than fat. So fat is important calorie intake that we need to take in when you do marathon running. It's key.
But you do get your good fats though.
Yeah, you must
Like
take
in your
fat.
avocados and
Yeah, of course.
Essential fats. But that accounts for like 10% of your diet.
Okay.
60% is carbs and 30% is protein. So you see, the one they're saying cut out is the one that you need
You
the
always
most.
need it.
Yo.
But when you say
Durell.
carbs, and you know when people usually say cut out carbs, usually they refer to like your bread and so forth on.
My advice
Cool
is
drinks.
do everything in moderation. I mean,
Okay.
No,
you
but
get diabetes because you eat too much sugar. But if you eat sugar in moderation, you won't get diabetes.
no, but the thing
Yeah.
is, you must be active. That's the most
Yeah.
important thing. Then you can eat whatever
Must be
you
active.
want. You
Yeah.
must be active.
So like sugar, jump.
Yeah.
Is that the case? Then you can eat whatever you want
Whatever you want.
if you obviously
Active. Yeah.
No,
That's
but
all.
then
That's
it
fact.
won't work the same for athletes.
No, but I
Yeah.
mean for us in general.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
Now we're speaking athletes here, Jay. We're speaking about athletes here.
They just
You
want
need-
My
permission
bad,
to
yeah.
have
I
chicken
need
tikka.
information.
So Durell, that's what you're saying. Get the person, they can speak to you, whoever, give them a program. They join a gym. That's where I was. They join a gym. They follow a diet,
Yeah.
right? You can, you said you
I give
can't
dietary advice.
advise. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't prescribe diets.
Okay, so a dietitian would be able
Yeah.
to do that. And then you follow that
Yeah.
on obviously you will assess the person.
Yeah, you assess them.
Yeah.
If they can't afford to see you every day or every second day because they go to work,
Yeah.
you let them see you once every 2 weeks. So in your sessions, you will basically teaching them the exercises.
Okay.
So that's what I
Okay.
always do. I don't want people to be dependent of me.
Yes.
I want when you leave me as an athlete, you're empowered to
Do it
necessarily
yourself.
help yourself.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't necessarily always tell them, I don't fix you, I guide you. You
Okay.
do all the work.
Come on.
Okay.
So yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Bianca, we actually have a couple of comments here.
Yes, yes.
Couple of comments. Thank you so much once again for everyone that has been tuning in, Friday out,
Beautiful.
and even during the week. So we actually have some fans of Durell here. Apologies if I butcher the names. Elzavid.
Well, Xavier.
Xavier.
Yeah, that's fun
That's
reader.
Coach Zavi, that man.
Zavi.
Come on,
That's
come
Coach
on.
Zavi.
Durell, the best I know. That's what's, yes.
Yeah.
Come on. And then we have Indira saying, shout out to my bio, Durell. And then also Sarita Miles with the question saying, good morning, everyone. I'm curious, what is the difference between a physiotherapist, a biokineticist, and a sports science?
That's very important. I wanted to ask that myself. Thank you so much, Sarita, asking that question. Thanks, man. What's the difference?
Physios usually when sometimes athletes I'm good with referring to physios because I know it's not my scope of practice. Physios do a lot of manual therapy and they call it active range of motion, passive range of motion. Like usually when you come from an op, it's very painful. I wouldn't suggest seeing a bio, you would see a physio
Okay.
necessarily because they're gonna do the pain therapy, they're gonna put some needles in, they're gonna do some
Acupuncture.
manual therapy, massage, they're gonna do some electromyography,
Okay.
and then they're gonna do some shockwave therapy. That's their expertise, and then they'll get you walking at least, without crutches.
Okay.
Then the getting you back to playing your sport and pain-free is where the bio comes in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually when it's a ACL, it's about, let's say, 8 to 12 weeks you'll be working with the physio. So that's about 2 to 3 months. And then afterwards, the physio should refer you to a bio. Like that one girl there, Indira, I'm responsible for her return to sport training.
Okay.
So she's close to returning. She's been out for almost 2 years with the ACL there.
ACL.
So yeah,
So that's a
that's
serious
where we
injury.
come in, because physios are very pain aware.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Whereas
Okay.
us as bios, we communicate with you.
strengthen.
How does this feel? Is it too much pain? Is it more than 4 out of 10? Because I can train you through the pain, but it shouldn't be less or more than 4 out of 10, and it shouldn't be. The pain should subside after 24 hours.
So she says the difference between a physio,
And then the
biokineticist, and then a sports scientist. Yeah.
Sports scientist is responsible for performance, strength and performance.
Okay.
So they're the ones that work also closely with the coach. The reason why I say bios can also work closely with the coach, because there's a subject we do together. It's called exercise physiology,
Yeah.
which is basically the baseline of sports science.
Yeah.
The only thing that sports scientists do is also they have testing methods.
Okay.
So they test you to prescribe to you. So
Okay.
if you can
Yeah.
only last 80 minutes in a match, they train you so you can last 90 minutes specifically
Right.
you.
Right.
So we also do that. So sports scientists actually is the one helping you with strength, performance. They also help with injury prevention because they train your muscles to prepare you for the season ahead.
Wow.
And they do the warm-ups as well. So
There's a lot in this. You know what, Jay? I'm enjoying the show. To be honest with you, it's very informative. Please share this link and also subscribe to the program. We're gonna have many more of these professional guys coming in and sharing with you their expertise and also their experiences and how that can help you as a sports person moving forward. But thanks so much, Durell. I really appreciate you coming in. It's really an honor to have you. And it's a young man all the way from Riverlea, my birth place as well. And then from El Dorado Park, Coach Angelo, it was really fantastic. My co-host here, Jay. Just some closing remarks from the guys, and then we out of here. Some closing remarks from you, Coach.
I just want to say thank you for the viewers and for everyone inviting me to be here. And I hope you have a lovely day today. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
thanks so
Durell.
much, guys, for having me, allowing me to educate the viewers about the importance of sports conditioning, difference between physios, bios, and sports scientists. Even while I'm talking, I'm also learning.
Excellent.
Come on.
What we're going to do, we'll get these guys back at some point, Jay, just to speak on specific stuff. There's so many things I want to ask them. Even with a knee injury, what's the difference with that meniscus tears and all those type of things? You know what I'm saying? That's serious stuff. And then your ankles, what's the best or the recovery to just for closing? The best for ankle recovery.
I wouldn't say, like I say, rehabilitation is individual specific. So there's no one size fits all.
Right.
So what can work for Coach Angelo might not work for you.
For you,
So that's
yeah.
why it's based on the assessment.
Okay.
So when you get injured, first 48 hours ice, because I always hear athletes, it's now 5 days and I'm still icing. You're slowing down the healing. Only those first 48 hours is icing time.
Okay.
But after that, you just leave it to naturally heal.
Okay.
But yeah.
Thanks, man. Jake, some
Yeah.
closing remarks.
I think my closing remarks will be
Yeah.
a question where Coach Xavier actually asked, what is Durell and Coach Mama's dream job?
Dream job. Yeah, let's hear that. Let's hear. What's your dream job, Coach?
No, it's to establish world-class training facilities in our areas for the young
Beautiful.
kids. That's my dream.
Beautiful. Yourself?
I would like to work for any of the big six in the PSL, or even move up to the Premier League to work for a club. But I like clubs that have a well-established facility. And then also my own thing, I want my own high-performance center where I'll have 2 dietitians, 4 bios, 2 physios, and 2 sports scientists.
Yeah, we'll work together. We'll put it in a community. Then we'll
Exceptional.
have it in Elders. Don't
These are
worry.
big dreams. and
Good one.
I know it's achievable.
Benny
Thank-
Makat is watching there. Cape Town City,
We'll send him the link.
Korolani.
Okay.
Just ask for my CV.
Just ask for ECV. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. It was great being with you on this Friday morning. Thank you so much, guys. Bless you. And please don't forget to subscribe and to share this link. God bless and have a fantastic weekend.